The United States is currently entrenched in a massive military conflict with Iran. We are months into the engagement, and a clear path to victory has yet to emerge. The financial toll is mounting. Washington has already spent between $40 and $50 billion, a massive sum that is directly fueling domestic inflation and driving up mortgage rates for American families. While the conflict remains centered in the Middle East, Trump now faces a secondary diplomatic wall in London and Paris. The U.S. military recently organized a logistical surge, loading heavy transport planes with weapons bound for Israel to support an operation targeting high-level Iranian leadership. To reach Israel, these shipments required access to European airspace. However, France explicitly denied the United States permission to fly these military supplies over its territory. The United Kingdom adopted a similarly rigid stance, leading to a public social media reaction from Trump, where he accused his allies of being very unhelpful during a time of need. This logistical blockade represents more than a temporary delay. It is a severe diplomatic fracture that has compromised the fundamental trust between Washington and its closest Western partners. There is a calculated logic behind the refusal from Paris and London to assist their primary ally. European leaders are currently prioritizing a doctrine of regional containment. They are determined to prevent the escalating tensions with Iran from spilling over into their own geopolitical responsibilities. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz summarized the continent's position by stating that the conflict with Iran is not Europe's war. This unified stance demonstrates that Europe is now placing its own regional isolation above its traditional military allegiance to the United States. For Donald Trump, this rejection confirms an ideology he has cultivated for decades. His hostility toward France and Britain is not a sudden reaction to recent events. Trump recently shared an interview from 1987 where he argued that American allies have long failed to carry their fair share of the global security burden. 1987 was also the year Trump took a highly secretive trip to Moscow during the height of the Cold War. Intelligence theories, like the Christopher Steele dossier, suggest the KGB recognized Trump's profile during this visit, cultivating his skepticism toward Western alliances. This skepticism creates a sharp contrast with historical data. While Trump focuses his current anger on Iran, America's most significant terror threat, the 9/11 attacks, was orchestrated by Osama bin Laden from a base in Pakistan. Whether his worldview was shaped by his business instincts or outside influence, Trump has spent over 30 years waiting for a clear justification to challenge Europe's reliance on the U.S. military. The refusal to open French airspace has provided the catalyst for a direct attack on the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Trump's retaliatory logic is direct. If Europe refuses to participate in the American war with Iran, the United States will refuse to participate in the European proxy war with Russia. He is moving to neutralize Article 5, the pact that guarantees mutual defense, effectively serving notice that the U.S. will no longer be obligated to protect its European allies. Without the American guarantee, NATO ceases to be a military shield. It becomes a purely symbolic organization with no credible deterrent. This is a moment of immense historical weight. We are looking at the potential end of a world order that has dictated global security since 1949. The alliance that dominated the 20th century is currently being dismantled in real time. France's decision to block American flights has become the final domino in a process decades in the making. By prioritizing their own regional isolation, European leaders gave Donald Trump the specific pretext he needed to finally withdraw the American security umbrella.